The Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV begins right now. Great to be with you. Thanks for being with us. That's Ira. There's Corey. Hello, boys. How the hell are you?
Fantastic. How are
Wonderful.
you?
Good. I don't know. I didn't hear conviction there
No,
from
it's
either
good. It's
one
fine.
of you.
I said fantastic. What do you want me to say?
It sounded a little forced.
Incredible.
All right. Maybe this will help. Yay, sausage.
Mhm.
That always helps.
There it is.
I actually bought some. I felt a little bit mad or sad. I felt a little bit like I dropped the ball last week because after we did the show last week, I went into Publix.
Yeah.
And it was on sale. Registers was on sale. And I hadn't notified the people. I hadn't let people know. That
you hurry in.
Not a BOGO, but it was on sale. It was $1 off. So I didn't get to spread the word, but I did go back and get a bunch. Sorry.
Well, you did your part.
I do think, actually I went back after the 4th because, man, our Tallahassee residents cleaned out their grocery stores for July 4th. I went back last night and it looked like there was a run on the registers.
Oh, people.
It had been depleted.
Yeah,
because
they saw.
you get a sale.
You walk
the
in, you see
holidays.
that at that price, forget about it.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. But Ben and his staff will get the shelves replenished. I feel pretty strong about that. Plus, if you're not in this part of the country, you can go to registermeats.com and have it delivered to you. But it is awesome. Premium pork sausage, none of the nasty fillers and preservatives that some of the other sausage companies use, and all the different varieties. You got the short links, you got the hot links.
Yeah,
you
the
got
baby links there.
baby
Those
links,
is good.
delicious. You have the jalapeno cheddar, the andouille,
Oh, yeah.
all the varieties.
Oh,
Corey,
all the
can you
good
think of
stuff.
one? Can you think
No,
of
no,
one?
you named the ball.
The bun length?
You named the ball.
Go to registermeats.com.
Kielbasa? Did they have kielbasa?
They did not.
And what's the difference between kielbasa and just
One's
a regular?
Polish.
But it's just this Polish sausage?
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Well, I mean, it's
Delicious.
I feel like it's just a different name for sausage.
I'm sure that there's an expert out there that will
There's
inform
probably
us.
a lot of sausage snobs.
Yeah.
I bet do they have sausage snobs like Jeff's a beer snob
I'm
and a
sure.
music snob?
The
There's gotta be.
registers eaters.
Well,
are
that's
sausage
for
snobs.
the sausage snob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not a beer snob anymore.
Oh, good.
I am a coffee snob, which is one you left out.
Right.
100%
Music
a coffee
snob.
And I will always be a music snob. In
Right.
fact, I don't accept any of y'all's opinions.
It
about
sounds
music,
like
but,
you might just be a snob.
No, not at all.
Oh,
You're the one whose people aren't allowed to gaze at you.
that's
but
different. That's for my protection.
Yeah. So no, I love the people. I just don't need to hear their opinions on music, and I certainly
coffee.
don't want you to pick out my coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. But drink whatever you like, everybody.
Sure.
Okay. So now that we've said thanks to our sponsor, we can get right to it. Next week at this time, we'll be on our way to Charlotte.
I was going to say, we won't have a headlines next week. We'll
No.
be doing plenty of content
Right.
from up there
Lot
in
of
Charlotte.
content.
A lot of content.
When do you? Well, so what day are you getting there?
We're
1
gonna-
week from today?
Yeah, we'll be driving up Tuesday. I think it'll be Matt and I, and then we'll Aslan will hop in over in Jacksonville, pick him up, then we'll head up. Who knows how you're getting there? You'll show up.
I'll be there.
You'll get there one way or another.
I'll get there,
Same here.
buddy.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
You guys are lone wolves.
Yep.
We are.
Lone wolves.
Always have been.
But the rest of the posse
Yeah.
will be arriving Tuesday evening-ish, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and
I'll
the
beat you there,
festivities
I'm
will
sure of it.
begin. Yeah, I have no doubt at all that I'm going to get a text from you Tuesday around 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock. Hey, when can we check in?
Yeah, we're trying to check in here. What's going on? Yeah, I need the code, Ira.
Yes.
I need the code. Yeah, I get there early. I'm out the door.
When did the festivities start on Wednesday, though?
Morning. I mean, we just got to be there in the morning.
No, I know, but I didn't know like when Phillips had his. Because
we can't miss it.
Well, I'm trying
sure
to figure out, is it like 11 to 5?
It's
Is it-
usually in the 11 o'clock hour.
That's
feel
what I
like.
thought. Yeah.
I want to hear him extol the virtues of Notre Dame.
But we'll
and
have
why they are a semi-member of the league.
the local hour probably with the FSU players.
Mhm.
Probably
That's
around
right.
8:30. It's early.
Okay.
It's early.
Yeah,
Corey.
you
You gotta
get your
there.
ass
see what
up
happens.
and get in there.
We'll see what happens.
Let's go.
We got a lot
That's
of firepower
actually,
there.
That's actually the best.
It is.
It
That's
is,
the
yeah, I
best
know.
time.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
that's really all you need to go for.
No,
quite
well,
frankly.
we need all the content we can get, Jeff.
No, I understand. We're in the Sahara. I got it. But buddy, you know it never gets any better after that first 8 a.m. thing. Because after that, it's a whole bunch of nonsense.
Well, you get the questions from the rest of the media, not just the FSU media.
Yeah.
So you never know what they're going to ask. They may ask about the World Cup. They may ask about, I don't know. Well, they're certainly going to ask about NIL and just big picture topics.
Yeah.
But what a wonderful performance that was by the U.S.
I thought they were prepared, ready to roll, came out energized and focused, not in the slightest bit of jitters. They were ready to roll.
Sense of urgency there.
Yeah, man.
I get that Belgium is better, right? And I'm not going to pretend I know a ton about soccer, but it doesn't mean that the U.S. was okay. Like, we don't have to be okay with that performance because it was ungodly.
It was sorry.
Awful.
You don't have to even have a clue
maybe the
about
U.S.
soccer.
plays really well and still loses 3-2 or something.
Felt like a trip I took to Stanford last year.
Didn't show up.
It was just
weren't ready to play.
Delay a game before the first snap. Like they got the one free kick and then the guy scores a minute later. Yeah. I mean, golly! And then the
last goal was unbelievable.
that
wasn't the last goal.
I said the last goal. No, you're right. It was the last goal I watched.
It was
the last goal I watched.
The fourth goal wasn't much better, but that third goal was an all-timer.
I didn't see the fourth goal, and I never will.
Yeah, it's all right. It was over, and there are a lot of people relieved now that it's over. Right?
But it was like
we're moving on.
But they had played better. They are better than that. Yeah. They are not better than Belgium, but Belgium was down 2-0 to Senegal.
They'll get another chance in 4 years.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's a good point.
Yeah, not their best effort.
I would like to spend the next 20 minutes just spitballing the three of us why we can't be better as a soccer country. What's going on with our farm system?
Well,
and our youth system?
We could have that conversation.
Well, it's pay for play is the problem.
But I don't want to have that conversation.
I don't.
We're not going
but it is the same thing with baseball.
You didn't really want to have
it's pay for play. All these great kids, they have to pay a lot to be on these travel teams.
Let's just
not
do
in football.
This. Let's just do this. Let's talk about the football program, which is now where all attention shifts. That's it. It's official now. There's no you don't have anything distracting you that is, because 1 week from today, we're headed to Charlotte. And you know how it goes. Once that happens, it's on. What is it? The coaches all get to their offices and are ready to roll on the 19th, I think it is, Ira. I think is over on campus.
Sounds about right. I mean, they're here all the time, but yeah.
But you know what I mean. Yeah. Like you're in official work capacity at that point. Like, better have your parking spot in order. That's like it's time to roll. And then from there, obviously another week or so after that. What do we know the exact date they're opening camp? 29th?
We do. I don't have it in front of me. I think it is the 29th though.
Of July.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not of August.
Not of August. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something indeed.
Be less pressure.
Well, we're winging it, guys.
Yeah,
we didn't really have much of a practice.
Don't want to put too much
I
pressure
saw
on you.
right out the gates in the chat, people came with questions before we even got started. I kind of liked it. The person noting, I believe Brett said that he noticed that a lot of people are picking Florida State over SMU. Is that wishful thinking? Is it because it's a must-win? All the things. I don't know who those people are. I haven't seen a lot of predictions just yet. But, I mean, it's only a 2-point spread, 2.5-point spread, at least it originally was.
Yeah, and I didn't see – again, I'm not sure who Brett's talking about, but I know that there was a thread on the message boards about Danny Cannell saying he thinks FSU is going to go 8-4, so maybe he's got FSU beating SMU. I don't know. I mean, it's about a toss-up. I mean, the situation with that game is I think SMU's in a better position right now overall than Florida State? I kind of do, unfortunately. But you get a tune-up game against New Mexico State. It'll be their first game, so you have an advantage there, and you're getting to play at home.
Yep.
So I think those two things should mitigate the advantage I think SMU has, and it should be a really good game.
Because if it was a road game, if Florida State was playing on the road,
it would, the line would be 73.
Yeah.
We wouldn't cover it.
We wouldn't even be out there.
You could have already written your story.
Yeah, I've got it
pre-written. Change the score at the end.
We wouldn't cover it, and they wouldn't cover it.
No, that's true. No, also, I suppose anybody that's picking FSU to win that game, if you're going to say Florida State's going to go 8-4, you said Danny Cannell picked them 8-4. Well, then you have to pick FSU to win that game.
Just about.
I mean, come on. They're not going to lose that game and turn around and beat Alabama and then,
Miami.
somehow. Yeah.
I mean,
you got to win that game.
That's the end of the y'all acted like y'all are about to go on a run of all these really tough teams.
There are some tough games. I mean,
they are, but it's not like you mentioned two that feel unwinnable,
right?
As if there were more coming. Right. That's it. You could lose to SMU and Alabama and still go 8-4,
but
because the schedule isn't loaded.
Yeah, but recent history tells us
100%. 100%.
Resilience is not there.
No, I get it, but it's like you could lose to SMU and still go 8-4.
You could,
you could,
but
I'm using it as a
only
predictor.
Fair.
Okay, but I was going to say, I think why we're
100%.
Yeah,
but at some point, just the odds of sports. Your team will get better as the season goes on. You will rally. You will pull a Luke Laux-like rally from oblivion like he did in January. Maybe this team has that in them. They start 1-2 and finish 7-2 2.
Do you like doing these things you do?
What?
Like when you say
make believe land?
Yeah. I can't. We can't use.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, but you will use as a foundational point of an argument something that's never really happened before, and just be like, well, it could happen.
Yeah. But right, odds are it won't. I always want to stress that, Jeff. Odds are it won't happen.
Yeah.
But not that it can't happen. Just because it hasn't happened.
Right.
Hey, look, the U.S. had never beaten Russia in hockey until that beautiful night in Lake Placid.
Yeah.
Great point.
So
going back to 1980. Yeah.
Just saying, you got to believe, people.
It's
you
very
got to believe.
applicable.
Belgium and that goalie for the U.S. had never given up a goal like that in his life until that one. He had never tried to kick a ball. When's the last time he tried to kick a ball and just missed it? Just stubbed his toe.
It's a toughie.
Yeah. So things happen that you're not expecting is all I'm saying. I don't want people. Hey, and for our benefit, for all of our benefit, we don't want people to give up on the season if they lose to SMU. That's all I'm saying. Season's not over.
Yeah, but you don't have to artificially try to convince people to stick around. I think they will anyhow.
Yeah.
People will stick around.
Well,
the show always does well whether we're winning or losing.
Sometimes a little better when they're horrible.
Yeah, it's wildly entertaining, and that's not going to change because I'm still me, and you're still you, and Ira's still Ira. It's still going to be great.
Right.
We're all going to be good.
Well said.
The chemistry's awesome. Always going to be. Don't worry about it. You don't have to make things up to tell people to tune in to Seminole Headlines or the JCS or Wake Up Warchant or anything else. They're going to do it anyhow. Don't worry about it. Now, trips to the boards may suffer a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
That's a part of that's part of the job too.
Yeah, but
it's an unfortunate situation in the sense that, and we talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again. But even if you beat SMU, there's not going to be this great confidence boost, and if you lose, it doesn't mean the season's over,
right?
But
I think it does.
But the feeling in the fan base will be okay. Yep. Well, we know what Mike Norvell's teams do after this,
and I'll tell the fan base they're right.
Yeah.
On that Tuesday is what I'll do.
I'll tell them there's still a hope.
He's going to say, now, guys, there's nothing out there that says we can't go 11-1.
Yep, that could be your only loss.
I don't know why you want to assume because we lost to SMU last night that they can't beat Alabama on the road here in a week or so.
Does nobody remember that the 2014 Ohio State team that lost at home to Virginia Tech? Not even a good Virginia Tech
not
team.
even a good Virginia Tech
and then won the
team.
national championship?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, if they could do it.
Yeah. Maybe these slappies can do it. You never
Why can't
know.
Florida State do it?
Make that argument when they lose to SMU on a last-second field goal the next day. I want you to make that argument.
Oh no, I'll be angry as I always am when they lose. My point, my overarching point from that was the SMU is not going to. SMU could define the season, but it's not like, well, if you can't beat SMU, you can't beat anybody else on the schedule. Like SMU is probably the third best team you're going to play. You just happen to play them in week 2. They might be the.
I kind of like where you got him, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think you got him in the exact
You definitely want him now and not
yeah.
November, probably, unless it gives the quarterback a chance to get hurt.
Well, and also because you get that game beforehand. So, I mean, this couldn't set up any better. In much the same way you were excited when you got Alabama last year. Now, you took advantage of it.
Yeah.
You beat Alabama's ass.
Guy making his first start.
Yeah, there was a lot that was going against Alabama there, and it worked out.
And one of those LSU games, FSU had a tune-up game. In that,
the New Orleans game.
Yeah. So I do think it sets up nice, and I don't know if they're going to win or not, but
well, his team's always.
It's not like it would not be unheard of for Florida State to win that football game.
They're going to be a 2-point underdog. Yeah.
I don't think anybody thinks that's a foregone conclusion. I think that the only foregone conclusion early in the season is they're going to get stomped by Alabama. But I don't think that
mighty Alabama Crimson Tide.
I don't think that
with their quarterback that no one knows who it will be.
But I'm not worried about it. I'm not like losing sleep over SMU. I'm worried about the season.
Yeah, of course. And as we should be. There's reason to worry. But I think that the one thing you'd say about Norvell is that his teams play better early in the year. So if you're talking about wanting to beat SMU, which would be a huge win just for conference reasons, and also momentum reasons, you'd have you feel like you have a much better chance of going 1-1 against SMU and Alabama in September than you would in November. I mean, just the best game they played all of 2024 was the first one. They almost beat a pretty good Georgia Tech team. When you look back at that season, you're like, how did that happen?
I think the only year where they played really well late in the season was 2022.
Yeah, but they started that season well too. Yeah. So his teams usually start out pretty well. They fade a lot of times, Ira. They fade.
You're saying they don't handle adversity well?
Or success. Except for when Jordan Travis is the quarterback. They handle success well.
That offense faded too. It wasn't very good. Their defense was winning the games at the end of the year.
But that's because the offensive line wasn't any good.
And Jordan got hurt.
Yeah. Well, before Jordan got hurt, they weren't playing well either. I thought the offense was.
Hey, did you? Well, you read my story. You put it on about the offensive line. Yeah. What'd you think about that research? It was a little more than we thought, though, right?
Yeah, but the junior college guys don't count.
Yeah, they don't. So I did a story. I'm pimping the Warchant story I wrote about offensive line, and that it's almost like pitching in college baseball. You've got to go get your own guys. You've got to get your own guys off the tree. Now, is that how you do it? If you're growing your own, or you picking them off the tree, what would
you planted them?
You planted them, you grow,
and then now you've harvested them.
Yeah, you've harvested them.
Got to go get them out of the high school ranks.
Yes, correct. Because I looked up the last 60 guys. In the last 3 drafts, there's been 60 offensive linemen drafted in the first 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
60. Mm-hmm. 48 of them were homegrown the whole time.
Yeah.
Another 5 were JUCO guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's basically.
So there's been 7. There's essentially been 7 of the last 60 offensive linemen, elite offensive linemen that were drafted by the NFL. 7 of them were portal guys.
Yeah.
All but 2 of those guys were there for multiple years at that new school. The 1-year rentals and the going and picking from other schools, it's just not – you can get a decent line that way. But to get back to where Florida State needs to be, you've got to get big-time guys that stay in your program.
Well, we've been screaming it.
Yeah.
For a while.
The issue I think we all realize right now is they don't have the option. They are where they're at. These last 2 or 3 years, they screwed up.
You've got to do something.
They screwed up, and this is where they are, and they've got to figure it out. But I will give John Garrett credit. We ran some other articles on the site this week talking about trying to backfill that roster so that you do at least have guys in the program for multiple years. Because like you said, some of those guys who were drafted were at their school for multiple years. And of these guys they brought in this most recent window, several of those offensive linemen do have multiple years.
Yes.
One's got a couple, one's got 3 or 4, another one's got 4. I mean, they've got guys that they could at least have in the program
in theory build
for multiple years. And so now if you're building with your high schools too, last year they brought in Chavez Thompson. They had a couple other freshmen that they liked that they kept. This year they've got freshman class, they've got 4 or 5 offensive linemen that they like. So maybe you can kind of get back on solid footing. You couldn't do that right now, though, because you're in the mess you're in.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not afforded the luxury if you're Mike Norvell because, you're up against it. So it's always this vicious cycle. Like when you end up talking to somebody outside the market, like, how did they get here? Well, you always end up at this point that the offensive defensive lines haven't been good enough and they haven't been able to bring in their own guys from high school, develop them, have them stay. And then they say, well, why don't they do that? I'm like, well, now they can't.
Well, and
now they're screwed.
Yeah. And part of the reason is when they started having success with the portal, they this is Alex Atkins' fault. They kind of stopped developing those young linemen who all transferred and then ended up starting at other schools. Now, they didn't end up starting at big-time schools, but they started at USF. They started at FAU. They could have been here at Florida State filling in that roster, but, they didn't develop them. They relied on the portal, and now they paid the price.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole Headlines, have already made this leap. From household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Out of curiosity, Ira, if you had to place a number 1 to 10, 10 being the strongest, what do you think the odds are? What would you that the Florida State has a 7 or 8 win season this year?
I'd say I'd put it at a 6.
Okay.
What about
Out
you?
of 100?
6
out
out
of
of 10.
Oh, I was going to say, you're really down on them.
No, just 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say 50-50. All right, so five or 6.
5 for you, 6 for
5.5.
What about you? 2? Huh, Jeff? What do you got? 1?
Yeah, 1. What are we going to be?
1.5?
Central Arkansas?
I think Vegas has got us pegged.
What
I
is
feel
it?
like
6?
6 and 6.
Yeah.
Seems about right. I don't love us. See, I think it's important to beat SMU, as we were just saying. I think it's kind of important.
Is it though?
It's a weird one. It's weird because if you win, it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right.
If you lose, it probably doesn't mean anything. But if you've got so many other games that are losable.
Oh yeah, most of them.
And even if you take out of the equation the way this team falls apart when adversity hits, even if you take that out of the equation, you've got like 5 or 6 coin toss games. So every one you lose hurts your chances of winning 8 games.
But I was saying, like, even if you like, do you really want them to beat SMU? Like,
yes, I do.
I guess my theory is there's a lot of people, including this guy, I think, that doesn't like the head coach and wants a new head coach.
I don't think you dislike the head
No,
coach.
you don't like the head coach as a head coach, not as a human being.
He doesn't think he's going to get it done.
Right. Yeah. So wouldn't that just expedite what people like this guy want done? Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen, let's just put it this way. I think that's the hard quandary in general for all supporters of Florida State, whether you're a booster, alumnus, fan, community, that you love the school, whatever.
Well, can I make my point real quick? I wasn't done. I wasn't saying that people root for Florida State to lose. I'm saying if you beat SMU and you have an 8-4 season, great.
Right. Well, but I'd like to tackle that question.
Right. I know. I would
season.
too. But it's like, man, to what end? You're going to bring him back after another really 6-4 season?
I would say this. I think that is a very difficult schedule. I think it's the most difficult schedule in the ACC.
If he goes, 8-4,
if he goes 8-4, he's going to have a couple of impressive wins. And I am fond of saying, and have said forever on the show, wins and losses happen for a reason, and they elicit an emotion. You can know, in theory, we're going to win this game, we're going to lose this game, but then the game's played, and you watch it play out, and that causes a reaction and a response. So if I say 8-4, and we're looking big picture, Corey, I agree with you. Like, well, what's that going to do? Is that really going to fundamentally alter their ability to recruit? Are people going to open up the checkbooks and now start paying to help out with the roster construction? Perhaps not, but I do know that if you win 8 games with this schedule, you probably beat a couple of good teams, maybe even one of your rivals, and who knows how that makes people feel.
I definitely don't think if you win 8 games or 7, whatever that number is, that people have whatever number people are signing to this, that everybody's doing this, equation. If you have the right coach out there that you believe can inspire the fan base, is for sure the right guy, will change recruiting, will breathe life into the program. Even if he wins 7 or 8 games, I think you can make that change. And I don't think anybody would fight you on it. But I'd rather see Florida State win 8 games than win 5.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, Corey. That's what I was going to say.
I don't think if he wins,
root against them.
I don't think if he wins 8 that there's nothing to consider. But
yeah, who'd you beat? Who'd you lose to? How did it happen?
And if you have somebody that you want to go for that can energize, like, for example, Mario Cristobal in Miami, the situation that developed there was a lot of big money people, which we've seen play out now over these last few years, who said, if we get Mario, we'll open the checkbook. We will pay. We'll get you guys. We'll pay for him, a staff, and players. And they've done that, and they've had success. But they had to get the coach that inspired people. So if Florida State could get the coach that inspires people, then yeah, man, I think you still can make a change at 8-4. It's not like locked in. There's no chance.
Yeah. And obviously we want them to win every game, and we want them to win a lot more than we want them to lose. It's just, I wonder, you beat SMU and it ends up you get 1 extra win on another mediocre season. What is that really? And it also, you have to factor in, what does the recruiting look like in November? You know what I mean? Like, what does that class look like? Because it all comes into play. Like, if you can't keep spinning your wheels with mediocrity. And to me, at Florida State, I know where we're coming from, so they're climbing back up. but
still climbing.
Still climbing. Well, they dropped and they're back climbing again. It's like, that's a 6-4
climb.
It's a 6-4 season after a 3-7 season. You're giving this guy 2 wins every time you start a season. You're paying for 2 wins, and he's going to return that favor by going 6-4. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
We don't disagree about that.
But it's also, I know I'm speaking in 2026 and not 1997. Like, it's a different landscape and it's a different program. It's just, I wonder what would be the final straw when it comes to just being okay. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I'm about to take us off topic, which I don't want to, but I can't resist it.
We going back to the reflecting pool?
You just always say this. You always say that you always take away the 2 gimme wins. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, except for the fact that we've been doing this in college football for 100 years.
Yeah, everybody gets 2.
All those 10-win seasons that Bobby Bowden had, there were a bunch of gimmies in those. The first decade in the ACC was gimmies.
The ACC.
So that's all I'm saying. I just, I
but
get
these
you.
are legitimately
but when you're only doing it to
games.
this guy.
These are legitimately
but everybody has them.
But I'm not going to give.
Kirby has them.
I'm not going to give him credit for beating Kent State.
I get you, man.
That's all I'm saying.
It. I just say
there are 10 competitive games on the roster. You've got to start winning more than 40% of them.
The guy has failed enough without taking away the wins that he does have. So I'm not disagreeing that I understand where you're coming from. I just think it's not fair to do it only in this situation when we've not done it for anybody else in college football.
Bobby Bowden went 9-1 all those years.
Right.
It's fine. I'm just saying that, like, when we're trying to judge what this program is and who this coach is, I don't factor in at all what he does to Central Arkansas and New Mexico State. I just don't.
I got you.
That's all.
I'm fine with it.
So
when you change the record,
I'll just change the ACC record. That's even worse. It's disgusting. So at some point, if he goes 4-4 in the ACC this year, that's a huge leap up from where they were 2 years ago. But at some point, are you like,
not close to good enough.
It's like, what are we doing? We're spinning wheels. And so that's why I wonder what it would have to look like this year and what would be the end game for a 8-4 season.
I think I can paint that picture.
What if there's a lot of young players that play really well, though?
Right.
Like, if that helps a lot.
Well, how it looks matters.
Does Ashton Daniels have
winning and losing? They happen for a reason.
Yeah. How it looks.
In motion.
Real quick, David Thatcher says, Ira acts like Norvell's best friend. David, I don't care
if
he gets fired.
Mike Norvell.
If he goes 8-4 and gets fired, I'm not going to complain about it. But I just want fairness. Like, in any situation, I just want us to accurately discuss the situation and not tilt things based on.
Well, this is an easy one because you don't have to ignore the 2 automatic wins. You can just look at the actual record and it's sorry.
I agree.
Just say the actual record. It's sorry. And it's embarrassing to be this bad in the ACC. Yes. In the ACC.
Agree. Yeah.
And he's done a poor job. I mean, however, I read your article, Ira, so I know your point you made. I'll just say this. It doesn't matter how we arrived at a place where he can't recruit well. He doesn't recruit well. And so, it's like, no, I agree with those reasons that you laid out. Yeah. But, yeah, man, there's a lot of reasons to fire his ass. I would have fired him after 2-10.
I disagree with that. But I understand where you're coming from.
That's fine. But the point is, and there's room for all of it. I like that debate. It's fun. But yeah, listen, I don't know what it would have to look like for us to be excited about Mike Norvell, the head coach, moving forward. I do know that you're going to have to win a road game.
Yeah, those help.
It seems like that's got to be part of the equation. It's some effing point. You got to win a road game.
Because the national championship games are on the road.
And
they're not at Doak.
By the way, you can lose.
That's a relevant concern right now.
You can lose games in the playoff era. Most people will. We're not going to see too many 16-0 Indiana squads moving forward. It's just not going to be a thing that is a reasonable expectation year in and year out for any one program. And I think that's true of Alabama, and I think it's true of Georgia. I think it's true of a lot of programs. Because some of those schools, and we're starting to see evidence of it, different discussion altogether, are going to start struggling with this money factor as well.
Yeah.
You're seeing it now at places like Alabama, by the way. So, yeah, man, it's going to look totally different. But what it can't look like is a program spirals out of control the second they hit adversity, which is what always happens with this guy the last 2 years. And you're like, man, why? They don't there's evidence that the leadership is so poor that they do not respect you the second something goes wrong.
Or you've just done a poor job of bringing the right kids in the program.
Perhaps. But so it's every form
doesn't excuse
the
leadership, but it's one or the other.
And that's pitiful because there are teams that lose games and even in this era do not pack it in. They keep playing hard. They're in games the next week. They're still fighting. I dare say I don't think you're going to see too many Kyle Whittingham teams quit. Utah lost games. Cam Rising was always supposed to start, never did. And they kept fighting, kept playing hard. Next thing you know, you look up, fourth quarter, we got a 3-point game. Doesn't happen with Florida State. And I don't know if they just tune him out or what happens, but man, you lose that Virginia game in double overtime, whatever it was, and all of a sudden season's over.
Right.
Like hell, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing? You're allowed to lose that game on the road at night. That turned out to be a good Virginia team.
So
they played for the ACC title.
So back to the point though, like what would it have to look like at 8-4 for
the
you to feel?
Games would have to be good.
But
They'd
also,
have to be competitive
won't
every
it matter
Saturday.
who's making the plays? Like if you win if Deuce Robinson just goes off in 4 games and kind of carries you Kelvin Benjamin Gainesville style to a couple of wins, like it's like, okay, he's not going to be back. But Ashton Daniels does get another year, right?
He's done.
I thought it was 5 for 5 now.
Yeah, but he redshirted.
Oh, Ashton,
hey,
get up on out of here.
Don't worry about that, buddy.
Well, my
you're
point was if he came out and had a good season and had like a second team all ACC type
something
season,
to get excited about,
then you'd be like, okay, you got your quarterback coming back, coming off an 8-4 season.
Listen, man, I know what you're saying,
but
I don't
thought
think
Ashton had another season.
No.
man, don't lose sleep over that, buddy.
Just saying. Well, let's see what it looks like first.
Corey's gonna be laying in his pillow tonight, just tears coming down his cheeks.
Charlie Ward has an extra season, right?
No, I think the scenario that I think would lead you to feel confident, even if those guys, the playmakers, were leaving, is if all of the things that have been lacking were apparent.
That's what I mean.
It's a team that played hard together.
They're tough mentally and physically. Yes.
Yeah, all of those things, they're well coached. They know what they're doing.
They care.
They're not having to call timeouts first series of a game.
Jesus.
Like all of those things are.
Did they call
up.
a timeout or did they just get the delay?
They just got the delay.
They should have burned
you don't
that
want to
timeout.
burn a
You don't want to burn a
you can't burn a
timeout.
timeout.
That's embarrassing.
Started.
That's embarrassing. Go ahead and take that delay of game.
Because we know they could overcome it. That
Right. Yeah. That offense.
But especially on the road. But no, I think if you saw a team that competed, fought, played smart, played hard,
played to their capabilities,
didn't get blown the hell out when you played good teams, then you'd be like, you know what? Maybe it isn't. No, maybe Norvell can figure it out as the play call, or maybe the changes are going to help. Maybe it'll help recruiting if you're playing better. They've got money to spend. Maybe there's a way. Again, that path is pretty damn narrow. I don't think any of us expect that that's what's going to happen.
No.
But that would be the scenario where even if you won 8 games, you could say, you know what, man, this thing's got a chance.
But I think we all agree it shouldn't be tied to just wins.
No,
it has to look a certain
10,
way.
If it's 10 or something, obviously, but I think it has to look a certain way. Yeah. You have to do the math and the calculus of why did you win these games and how many of those guys are coming back? Did you win the games because John Garrett's roster construction, and do you believe more in that moving forward? Like what he did in a year, really in 2 months. Do you believe in that moving forward with this whole group? Like, look what he did in 2 months. What's he going to do in 14 months? With 14 months, leeway.
Do you believe in life after love? That's the question.
That's probably. I would say that's my favorite song of hers.
Turn Back Time's pretty good.
If I could turn back time.
That's a good share.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Everybody knows he's got the best
I got all
share.
the impressions.
Yeah.
I've been dancing his share for a while now. Hey, by the way,
goes back a ways.
Egypt is beating Argentina 2-0 in the 75th minute.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything apparently.
What do you mean?
Senegal was up 2-0.
Oh yeah, Belgium. Yeah. But hey, that just shows you never know. You never know. Exactly. It's a new day in world soccer.
Corey was in that
and
crowd.
Every sport, he tries to paint the field
just
good,
saying,
no matter
if
what
Egypt
it is.
can beat Argentina, Florida State can beat SMU in football.
It's a 2-point spread. Of course they can beat it.
They can do it, guys.
It's at home.
I
it's
believe.
SMU's first game. There's a part of me that thinks that Florida State should beat SMU, right. But then again. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
All right, let me tell you about Thrive Market. Online grocery store, basically. You got to be a member, but it's $5 a month and it pays for itself. Here's the deal. Thrive Market restricts over 1,000 ingredients. No stressing over labels or Googling every additive. Every product they have, curated, organic, non-GMO brands vetted before they ever hit the site. The in-app barcode scanner finds a healthier swap for almost anything that's in your pantry right now. 90+ dietary filters. You can figure it all out. It's easy. I did it. I pay $5 a month, so I don't have to Google, is this ingredient okay for me? I scanned something from the pantry. It showed me a cleaner version of that same food. Member pricing is up to 30% off right now. Weekly sales, free gifts, price matching, free delivery on qualifying orders at $5 a month. Again, it pays for itself. Most members make it back in their first 2 orders. No per-order delivery fees either, or service charges, none of that nonsense. One annual cost. It's great. Ready to do your own summer reset, if you will? Join Thrive Market with my link, thrivemarket.com/headlines for $20 off your first 3 orders, Plus, you'll get a free $60 gift card.
All right. So I just was curious. That all was born out of, I was wondering what confidence level you were at that they could have a winning season the week before we take off for Charlotte. Kind of curious what the vibe's going to be like with Mike. I'd like to see a version of Mike Norvell that is relaxed, has nothing to lose, and more himself than the performative one that we sometimes see, both at these events, like the over-the-top at the dais for television nonsense, like we sometimes see when I think he feels like the pressure's on and becomes more of a televangelist than a human. I'd rather the version of Mike who has learned that it doesn't really matter if you do all the things well. Guys can still come and go as they please, so you don't owe them this father-like figure to put their arm around them at all. They're paid. F them. Right. You'll either do what I tell you to do in the way that I tell you to do it, or you won't play. That version would go a long way because it's the most authentic way to deal with a team.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be who you are. And that was one of the things that I didn't like early on with Jimbo when he first got to Florida State. When he first came over as coordinator, then became head coach, is I felt like he was trying to be a little bit of a Saban because that he saw that work.
Yeah.
And obviously they had some success, but ultimately you have to be authentic to whatever you are to have long-term success. And
people see through it real quick when,
right.
Yeah.
And the challenge for Norvell is his speed, his kind of go-to line, that rhetoric is upbeat, positive, trying to give you confidence. The problem is when you're in a really bad situation and the players know you're in a bad situation and they're getting their butts kicked, then I think that's where it becomes a difficult message to hear. Cause it's like, look, man, that pie in the sky, howdy doody, like it's not working.
Yeah.
So what gear can we shift to? And he has not been able to show he has another gear.
Egypt or Argentina just scored.
Yeah.
Oh, so now it's 2-1.
I just don't think, I don't know. If I think I'm on the cusp of being fired from my job, I'm going to go out the way I want to go out. And it's going to be certainly sane and doing the things I think are important for a program to succeed. You want players to take over the locker room, but, we can't play that same note over and over again for the reasons that you just pointed out, Ira. I would just, if somebody, because I didn't like finding out after last year that they allowed for seemingly a lot of guys on defense, apparently, to just be malcontents and problems in the locker room or in their various rooms. That ain't going to work, man. F those kids.
Right. Yeah.
Move on.
And that's also sometimes with the coaches, right? Like the coaches can't allow it in their position.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, not just Norvell. Like, that of your guys.
You got to demand that of your assistant coaches too.
You're the head coach. You could say, look, man, he's late to a meeting again. He's high, whatever. Got to go.
Well, I mean, I thought the worst example of that to me was the Stanford game where Edwin Joseph got to stay in the game after getting into Edwin Joseph, right?
Yeah.
After not only making mistakes, but basically getting into it with Norvell and kind of mocking. I felt like he was kind of mocking Mike Norvell on the sideline. And then sure enough, they put him right back in the game.
I agree with you.
And now I think the coaching staff, I think that was the assistant coaches that did that, but still, that's, to me, it's a sign of disrespect to your head coach.
It's reprehensible. It
Right.
can't happen. I mean, but in theory.
Now, at the end of the year, that player was gone. A bunch of other players at that position were gone. One of the position coaches at that position were gone. So I do think it's difficult when you're in the moment to make a stand when you're trying to win games. I mean, it's like the hardest thing in coaching.
In the particular moment of the game,
Right.
I can understand. But Ira, the second you go back and look at film and you see that and you see the way in which you were, I mean, it can never, you can't play again.
Right.
You know, like the following week and the
Right.
week out, you can't get out there. You're not going to play. And I just think that you can set the tone early with that. It's just like, this is how we're going to do it. Look, because I brought it up yesterday, but like you found out that the old way, and we all wish there were some things about the old way that still existed, which is that you're also trying to mold young men into grown men and to make better decisions and to overcome adversity and all the things and Mike was raised by football. So I think he really believes that.
100%.
And I believe that's genuine. I think it's one of the more endearing qualities about Mike Norvell.
Could be misguided in this era.
It seems a little misguided in this era, Ira, because now you don't have to do that. Because guess what you could do? You could identify a kid in high school, give him a full scholarship, pay him money, realize he's better than you thought he was, and decide to go back and revisit the salary and give him a raise, both him and his brother. And the next thing you know, they could go and decide that they're going to go to Ohio State and hold you hostage because that's the way it works. And then you have to overpay to keep them, see the Desirs. So this is you. No matter what you do with trying to foster relationships and win on and off the field, it doesn't matter.
Argentina just scored again.
Man,
Corey,
that was the ultimate jinx.
why
I'm
did you
sorry
do
to
it?
the whole country of Egypt.
Egyptians are going to be coming after you.
I hope they cut
like
your
8
Achilles.
minutes. I turned the game on. It was 2-0. Now
Corey,
it's 2-2.
I hope they
Sorry,
cut
2-0.
your Achilles.
2-0.
But yeah, man. So you don't owe them that anymore. They're employees. They're paid.
Yeah, and because of, you kind of touched on it without saying it specifically, but back in the day, all of 6 years ago, when you signed a player, you knew you had them for 4 or 5 years, so you could invest in them, and you would reap those rewards,
and you could give them tough love.
Right. But now, all bets are off because you don't know. Even if you invest in them, you don't know how long you're going to have them anyway.
100%, which makes it freeing. I would think it makes it so much easier.
Free yourself.
Yeah,
but wouldn't you?
Who's saying that?
To me, you would just absolutely have it in your head that, hey, it doesn't matter. I could show every level of discipline and kindness and everything in between, the parent-like, relationship that I'm trying to foster here. It doesn't matter because that guy could walk through that door the next day and say, look, Ohio State wants to pay me twice what you're paying me. Yeah. And you're like, but I remember when you had the temper tantrum and I showed you that there's a better way, and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, man. Yeah. So just ruthlessly go about the task of trying to make sure the culture is instilled the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
What do you care?
Well,
you went 5-7, 2-10. You're probably going to get fired anyhow. Just do it.
I think if he had if and when this thing ends, I think maybe his biggest regret, and there'll probably be a few.
Free your mind, right?
Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Yeah, but who sang it?
I don't know.
I want to say Expose, but that was a goofy band from the 80s. It's not them. But like after you have a bad season, you completely give up your program to Gus Malzahn is essentially what it looks like to me. Yeah. I think his regret is if I'm going to go down with the ship, if we were going to have a piss poor season anyway, we could have done it.
It was in vogue. How do we miss that?
I was close.
Yeah,
what did I say?
Expose.
Yeah, it was the same letter.
They went on to similar success.
They did. I just think that like when you give up everything you believe for Gus Malzahn, your offense, it was even little things like when did the coordinators talk? Well, Gus is dictating it. He's going to talk on Sunday evening. In the middle of the second round of NFL football games, and you shut down practice. This was all Gus. You let Gus take control of your program because you either panicked because you were so bad in 2024, which was a right instinct, or you were told you had to make drastic changes. But either way, that was not his program last year. That was not anything like his program last year. And maybe this year will be different because he has grabbed back hold of it. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know how it couldn't be. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Let's put it that way.
But do you think that's a big regret of his? Is like, man, if I was going to get fired in 3 years anyway, and then he bounces in February? in February after this recruiting cycle.
Thank goodness he did.
Well,
even
I get it.
Yeah, even if he had stayed.
But I get it. But even that was like, how much did any of this mean to Gus Malzahn, man? This was a stopgap. This is your life. This is your career. This is your life. And Mike Norvell, whether you love him or hate him, has poured a lot of blood and sweat and gotten a lot of money in return for this program for 6 years. And you let Gus Malzahn just hijack it for 7 months because you have one bad season.
Yeah, but
I think that's a regret that he has.
It's not like Gus Malzahn just showed up and barged in the door. You
of course
brought it in.
Yeah.
Like you invited that. You looked for a lifeline.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
you welcomed the guy that usurped your authority from day one. See the luncheon we were at. Dude was late, didn't want to be there, was pissed off after the second question, was staring at Derek like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And you got to nip that in the bud if you're the head coach. Hey, that's not the way we do it. We always have this luncheon. It's always been very successful. I like to sit down with the guys off the record while we eat lunch. We all get to know each other a little bit. Yeah. Then there's the on the record portion of it. Everybody knows which is which. And then we go about our day. It's going to be an hour of your time. We do it every year. That's the way we've always done it. You can't be lollygagging your ass in here at the last minute, not wanting to do it, answer 2 questions, and then look pissed that you had to be here.
There's no way that Norvell can have a conversation like that with Gus because
he could have.
No, but I think Norvell thinks that Gus gave him his career.
Right.
And so there's that weird dynamic that came with that. You know, that is a big deal.
Yeah,
I mean, he took a grad assistant. It's like, you're going to be my receivers coach. Like,
yeah, but at some point, this is many moons later.
I know, but it's still, there's still a way that we think of our mentors that would be hard to then dress down.
Well, that was first guessed by all three of us and many others.
There was always going to be a weird dynamic.
How would that relationship work? It would be difficult to do. I mean, I think that's true.
Glenn points out that Expose's big hit was Seasons Change, which was a
It was a
Ira.
Oh my God!
I forget about it. It was a great song. It was
man. The Expose had I thought they had a couple of bangers. That's what the kids still say, right? They still say bangers.
All of them.
Okay, there. Bryce is saying that's a banger.
I don't ask his opinion on music.
That's fair. Our coffee, we understand.
He doesn't drink coffee and doesn't understand how it's possible that anybody does. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
How are you my kid?
I don't drink coffee.
How are you my kid? Well, you're just Mio and vodka.
Well, not right now.
No, well,
Mio and
right after
water.
the show, though.
Yes,
I'm all about the coffee now. Iced coffee. Iced coffee is the way to go.
Oh,
Ira's growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah.
There was a time where the thought of coffee repulsed you.
It only took 55 years.
Is that coffee that's in that cup, the styrofoam cup right now? Oh, that's something else.
That's Mio and vodka.
Yeah, a lot of it. You need it. Talk about this. Hey, so it looks like Florida State baseball might get a big commitment.
Yeah, they're trending.
They're trending to get a big commitment. But I can't look at my phone to see on Twitter because I'm watching the Argentina.
Well, it's not on Twitter. It's on our website.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah, Warchant.com has it, Corey. You should go look at that website.
Cal right-handed pitcher Otto Espinoza in 46 1/3 innings of work this spring for the Golden Bears. He posted a 3.69 ERA.
Okay,
which I like.
Bad. I like that. That's good.
The strikeout numbers are pretty good too. So,
is he a starter? 47 innings, probably not.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Here's what we need to do before we go to break, and we got about a minute and a half till we do. Let's tell everybody about the joys of drinking Tavello beer.
There you go.
Delicious.
Good place to watch the World Cup.
A good place to go. First Friday is did it already happen?
It was this past Friday, but I don't think they did it. I think I said they were going to do it, and I don't think
because
they did it because it's July 4th.
So maybe this first Friday is this
they're going to get down this Friday.
Or do they just skip a Friday?
Even if it's not first Friday, you can still go to Tavello, go up to Thomasville, Georgia, right there in the heart of downtown Thomasville. Maurice and Lynn will be there. The great staff, great beer, a bunch of different varieties, plus the hard seltzers, which are frozen seltzer, I guess is what you call it.
Slushy types.
Yeah. And it's a great place, tap room. If it's later in the evening or early in the morning, go out to the patio. I wouldn't recommend being on the patio too much during the afternoon right now.
And really, guys, this show's played live on Tuesdays. If you're out there in the middle of the afternoon drinking Tavello, you're a warrior. On a Tuesday, you have the week off, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
It's 5:00 somewhere, but. If you they can their own beers as well. So if you go in, you can get a bunch of the different varieties of Tavello beer in their cooler, and you can bring them home. Just don't drink them in your car.
No,
the authorities frown upon that.
It's illegal.
Yeah,
but buddy, lots of options
when you get home. Yeah,
and Maurice, diehard Noel.
Yes,
he's listening right now, saying, "Please, fellas, give me hope. Shine a light on a reason to believe that team is going to have a winning record this year." And to answer your question, Corey, there's never a game that I watch Florida State, even if it's to the end that I want, in which I root for them to lose.
That was not a question. I would never
Well, you
pose
kind
that
of posited that maybe there
I
was
would never ask you that.
motives.
I would never ask you that because I would be curious.
The great thing about being either a brewery or a bar in a college football town or around a college football town
place. Yeah.
If the team wins, people want to go celebrate.
And if they lose,
got to drown your sorrows.
Commiserate.
Yeah, exactly. Too.
Still 2-2, Corey.
Still 2-2. It looks like the Egypt's make a little run now, but Egypt's keeper had another great save to keep it 2-2. And he's got 6 minutes left in regulation.
I like Argentina's chances though.
There's 7 minutes of stoppage time, 7-ish.
We want Florida State to be more like Argentina, down 2-0, deciding we're not giving up. It's World Cup. We fight back from adversity here.
Exactly right.
You guys know I've always said that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead.
Most dangerous lead in soccer.
Everybody does.
I've always said
One
that.
goal changes everything.
And when Belgium got that 3-1 lead, I'm like, Belgium, you don't want this.
This is the margin you don't want to work with. No. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Headliner questions headed your way. Hang tight. Hour number 2, Seminole headlines, headliner questions coming your way in just a moment, but we begin the hour as we always do by thanking our sponsors, in particular this one absolutely stellar sponsor.
Ride or die.
The rock of the community.
Yeah. Dr. Birch Orthodontics. Thank you so much, Dr. Birch. Best in business by far. Ira, take it away.
Not only a great orthodontist, does tremendous work, braces, Invisalign, all the different things you can need from an orthodontic standpoint, but as Jeff just said, bedrock of the community.
Yeah.
I mean, like very much a part of the foundation of the community, supporting teachers. She's constantly buying free meals over there for teachers at the different middle schools. Well, I don't know if it's all the different middle schools, but certainly at least one of them. And then also doing a lot of different events. For her 20th anniversary a couple of years ago, they did a big charity drive where she matched donations from people around the community for good causes. And she's constantly doing things like that. That stood out because it was a 20th anniversary, but she's constantly doing things like that, giving back to the community. And also, if you have any orthodontic needs, if your kids need braces, or if they just need maybe a consultation because one orthodontist has told you something else, that's how this all started.
Something asinine that's just not true.
I mean, just lied. The first orthodontist just lied to us. But anyway, Dr. Birch and her staff were amazing and good people, great service, and also did outstanding work. So a bunch of our kids and friends' kids have gone there. And I don't know of anybody that's been disappointed. BirchOrthodontics.com is the website. Free consultations, payment plans. They make it as easy as possible.
This made me laugh. Amar out the gate says, "Good day, gents. Boy, that U.S. men's national team looked like they had a pregame pep talk from Mike Norvell before the disastrous outing.
Come on.
Wheels came off the wagon
The
with
home
a
game.
fury, much like last season for FSU.
It was a home game.
If you could distill Mike's incompetence to one single play last season, which one would it be? Well, he didn't call plays last year, Amar. Yeah. Now, maybe you could argue that he made the mistake of that, bringing in that guy, but he didn't call plays.
I would say, though,
play that you like the most,
symbolic of the season and of the 2 years, is the punt off the face. That
was fantastic.
Punt off the face mask.
The ricochet that goes
30
back
yards
to the,
back to the NC State punter. That was just perfect.
I'm not going to lie. I did chuckle. I was like, of course that happened.
Yeah, that
And
topic.
people forget they got the ball back, and Squirrel White dropped that one.
Yeah.
They've had trouble with punts, Corey.
They had this conversation on Wake Up Warchant. They had another conversation on Wake Up Warchant that I wanted to bring up. Corey took a good stand against sea turtles, which I thought was important. Somebody finally had to stand up.
Somebody's going to stand up to the big turtle industry.
I thought that was a brave take, Corey.
Yeah.
But the other thing they discussed was the idea of, like, can you blame the head coach when things like that happen? And I'd say, man, at the end of the day, your players either rise above.
That was kind of, I wasn't giving him.
I know.
I wasn't absolving him.
No, I know. I think it's that when you look at the plays Indiana made down the stretch, and I'm a Signetti hater now, apparently, but maybe since way back, but his guys did make those plays. And when you're the head coach of a team that constantly fails to make those plays, whether it's the screen pass against Virginia, whether it's the dropping a pick six in that game, whether it's just the play that punt, or the year before the tight end taking a ball off the face mask that turns into basically a pick six. Nice set. When your players are failing in those moments, that's on the head coach just as much as when your players
ultimately how you arrive at the result is littered with a lot of unique plays. But the bottom line is they're seldom in a position to where those plays, when they happen, don't absolutely destroy them.
They crush them.
They crush them every time.
When you're up 40-9, you can laugh about a punt
something
coming
like
off
that
a face
happens.
mask.
You're like, oh, well, they were up big at home because of course they were. But they don't do that. It's comical. It's unfortunate. There's not a singular play. I think the pretty consistent poor play on the road, coupled with their inability to ever look better on special teams, at least in the punt return game. These are all glaring evidence of incompetence.
Hey, new special teams coordinator, baby, and a new punt return coordinator because David Johnson left too. So 2 new coaches handling that situation. I feel good.
See the prediction yours truly made when we were asked to make predictions about something we're sure of this year, that they would be better in punts.
There you go. There you go.
Catching
them and returning them. I even added the return to the equation.
That's bold.
I'd be cool just catching them.
I said that there's a chance they'll take it back 6-7 yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing a ball caught. Start with that. Imagine seeing it caught.
Like a low line drive punt
even
that the
with
guy
confidence,
races up.
Like real affirmation, like, oh, I got this, the way that some people catch punts, like they're athletes. And then they catch it, and they're looking to do a little something with it. Can you imagine how much shock you'll be in if you see that against SMU?
The missed opportunity for us back in the day when Leon Washington was playing here.
Oh, my man.
I sat down and watched. I went to the coach's video office and watched the T-Buck return against Syracuse, the fool from Pascagoula, to show him, like, basically it was like, have you ever seen that play? We were talking and he had never seen the play. So I was like, let's go watch it. Leon had never seen the play.
Basically, for the young listeners, Buckley faked the fair catch.
Yeah.
He caught it and then just stood straight up and was like going to give the ball to the ref, and then took off.
And so what was interesting about doing that, though, is Leon was like, yeah, man, Syracuse had a bunch of slow dudes on punt returns. They don't do that anymore. Like, the game has changed. He wasn't diminishing T-Buck.
Yeah,
he was
just saying, like he was a little.
He was just saying you can't really do that today because teams put athletes on special teams.
These dudes are riding out.
They didn't really do it back then. Well, anyway, to me, the opportunity we missed last year was we should have had Greg Reed. Maybe we could still do it.
Yeah, we got a year this year too.
Sit down with Greg Reed and watch some of these plays where the ball just hits the ground and rolls. For 30
now,
yards.
Greg, why would that have not happened if you were in the game? Tell us what you would have done differently.
It would be like
there.
one of those reaction videos when somebody sees like a gruesome sight.
Oh, yeah. It would be. Greg Reed wouldn't be able to live with it. I don't know how much Florida State football he watches, but why not bring him back? Just coach guys how to catch punts. Think of all the money they've wasted over the years. That's legitimate spending, I think. Yeah, because he could. I think real recognizes real, Jeff, and I think Greg Reed would see somebody on that team.
Like, nope.
He's like, but no,
that guy is.
He'd see the guy that's like me. Like, he wants the ball in his hands and he'll die to go get it, as opposed to, oh God, I hope it doesn't get kicked to me.
It is weird though, because we live in an era where it's not like the olden days, Corey. You can't hit him. Like, you're not going to get hit, and if you are, it's a 15-yard penalty. Like, go catch the ball.
Catch the ball, yes.
My theory is, and we'll never know if I was right or wrong, but my theory was I felt like John Pabuchis and Mike Norvell were so worried, and David Johnson
fumbling.
We're so worried about them fumbling. If it wasn't a perfect punt, if they had to move and catch it
like
on a run, like an athlete,
to their right,
like a Division I athlete, they were just like, let it bounce. And then, yeah, man.
What kind of asinine direction is that? Because it went on and on and on.
I'm
And
with you.
it's not as if we all didn't recognize that they practiced the hell out of special teams.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I go wander around Hauser for a half an hour and come back, and they're still out there practicing special teams.
Yep.
To what end?
Could be a dawn of a new day.
We'll see. Justin is high on Ira's explanations for why things happen the way that they do regarding the administration. It's a compliment that he gives
thanks,
you.
Justin.
But he goes on to say, you've pointed out before when the administration's been caught off guard, I'm just tired of us seemingly always behind. When was the last time the administration was proactive and did something that was ahead of the curve in retrospect?
I mean, not necessarily the administration, but the combination of Florida State's administration, the coaching staff, and Battle's End, locking up that team for 2023 was kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida State was an early adopter of the portal and went really hard at maintaining that roster for 2023. So you give them credit for that. But yeah, in general, that has not been a strong suit.
Correct.
And it certainly wasn't in this situation when things changed. To his point, when the market flipped after that 2023 season, Florida State was slow to react to that for sure.
Jason, who reached out last week, and you guys remember meeting, or somebody did. Jason,
that was me, yeah. In Lake City.
Yeah, he says that he hopes to see all three of us in Charlotte.
That's right.
next
He's going to be in
week.
Charlotte.
Yeah. So we'll get together and booze it up.
Mm.
He didn't say that. I added.
It's implied.
What
What else are we going to do? Play Parcheesi?
Pickleball probably with you.
All right.
It's been
You'll find a
years since
pickleball
I've
court.
played Parcheesi. I used to be a Parcheesi playing Jesse.
I don't think
That
I've
back-
ever played it.
Parcheesi
board
and
games.
backgammon, man. I
Oh.
was a backgammon fool.
Come over to we need to
You want to get it on with some backgammon?
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go to
Like
war
the
with some
80s again.
backgammon. Yeah. Hello, boys. One recent change that I don't hear much conversation about is the early termination of the Legends' relationship with our beloved Knowles. Curious if you've heard the reasoning behind their removal. Take care. That's from Butch.
Well, it was a disaster.
Yeah, it was a disaster.
That's probably why.
By the way, I have pointed to that before, that it's another decision by the athletic director. But anyhow.
Yeah, that basically there's a multi-tiers to the Legends' relationship with Florida State and other schools. They handle the food, hospitality at a lot of college games. Well, not a lot. Some college sporting
Not
events.
that many colleges, Ira.
Then they also handle the marketing and some of those other areas. The part that was taken away was the part of the food. Basically, they took over a couple years ago for feeding the suites, the Champions Club, those areas. And we're not up to standards. We didn't necessarily cover that at the time because we're not there. We're in the press box eating our Chick-fil-A, but it was never good, never met up to standards. And finally, they basically said we have to move on.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the other aspects are somehow moved on from at some point in the not too distant future. Just an observation. Sean writes, it's Major League Baseball draft week, boys. I'll be watching closely. I was looking over the draft slot bonuses from last year. My thoughts are, if Miles doesn't go in the first 2 rounds this year, we should see him on campus in the fall. That first pick of the third is approximately $1 million or less. What say you? Yeah, I agree.
So I just did a podcast with Chavez. Sorry, texting my son real quick.
We call it K-Time.
We call it
Not just a
K-Time.
podcast.
Yeah, sorry. And he made a really good point that I hadn't thought about. So let's just play it out, because I did that. I looked it up. So MLB.com has Miles Bailey as the 83rd ranked draft prospect. If you look up the 83 draft slot salary, it's $988,000. So that's $1 million. Nothing to sneeze at.
He's coming back if that's the case.
But that's $1 million. So what Chavez's point is he called it double dipping, in that I don't know what Florida State could get to, but let's just say for S's and G's, half that.
No, I think it's going to be
it's more than that.
Well, then let's
go with 750.
Let's go
Corey.
750.
Okay.
So let's say Miles gets offered 1.3, but Florida State's offering 750.
Right.
Well, you can be Miles Bailey, and again, he's not my son. You can make your $750,000 right now in September. Then 9 months later, come on back for the draft, and that's when you get the next $1.3 million. You're getting, so that's the double dip part of it. You get paid to stay away from MLB for 1 year, and then MLB pays you the next year. So instead of leaving for 1.3, you're going to leave it for 2, assuming you're going to be drafted in the same spot the next year.
You got to believe certainly you're going to put up
I feel
the
like
numbers.
you're also there's the thought that you could play better and be drafted higher. So I feel like that. When he said that, I'm like, almost. I know it's goofy, and I don't want to try to give people false hope. I promise I don't. But why wouldn't you do that if you're just a sophomore?
Sometimes people pay above slot.
But they'd have to pay, if Florida State's going to be in the neighborhood of 700 or 750, they're going to have to pay, even if they offer you 2. Well, you can come back around the next year and make close to that on top of the 750 that's already in your account.
I think it would have to be around close to 2 for him to ride. I actually think there's a very good chance that he's going to be back.
Yeah, 2 is the number I was hearing a little bit earlier too as well. And said if it's not 2, Florida State's going to have a decent chance. Now we'll see. MLB, they've broken plenty of college fans' hearts in the past.
Yes, correct. They do not care.
Not to go to the Orioles, but Samuel, the one good thing about the Orioles is Samuel Basayo. And I don't know if you guys have seen him much at all, but when I watch that dude mash baseballs, I literally, the first thing I think of is
Miles Bailey.
Miles Bailey. I mean, literally, Miles Bailey is he's not generational, but from a college program standpoint, you're only going to get one of those guys maybe every 8 or 10 years.
His ball a long way, yeah.
So whatever money they can come up with, they need to do whatever they can to keep him because it changes your whole team. We saw that this year.
It also changes the juice around the program, the feeling of the team, the season ticket sales, like all of it is a really big deal if he would come back. So, yeah, let's hope he does.
Brandon says...
Might lose a couple of their high school arms coming in, though. They might be drafted a little too high to come to college. To happen. Yeah.
Brandon writes, time to play odds maker, boys. Chances Norvell's coaching FSU in 2027. Chances Alfred is the AD in 2027. FSU has more than 3 players drafted after the season ends.
So for
you want to tackle one by one?
Sure.
Okay.
Norvell, I would give 25%.
Sounds about right. 20%.
I think we're all in the same general vicinity.
Yeah.
The AD?
I would say 35-40 maybe.
I was going to say 50-50.
I was going to say 25-30.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's back.
I'm a little more bullish.
Yeah.
A little more bullish.
And then more than 3 players drafted. Ooh.
So Deuce, Ashton. Hey, man.
Deuce definitely. Ty Wisner might be. Trey Wisner.
Yeah.
Ty too might be.
Jabril Rawls should be.
Yes.
Ashland Barker maybe possible. I mean, athletically, he's going to test well.
Is Dancy a draft? He's the draft
eligible.
eligible.
He'll be draft eligible.
He's got a ways to go.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
he's very fast.
Yeah, right. But he's, if he goes to the combine, runs a 4.29, and he has some production, they might be like, okay, we'll take him in the 5th round.
I mean, if the linebacker produces at a high level,
that's
maybe.
the one, man. That's the guy
Chris
I'm most interested to see is Chris Jones. It's just not normal. I've said it a bunch. I don't care. He had 180 tackles as a teenager playing Division I football. That's somebody that was born to do it.
Got instincts. Good instincts for the ball.
Absolutely. Yeah. And looks like a straight
and
out of Central Casting.
Yeah, but just don't get him isolated in coverage.
But that's fine. Your job as a defensive
was the guy
coach.
That tackled 1 million people at Tennessee, and then.
But not this. He didn't have these
like
numbers. He didn't
physically.
This guy he led the nation in tackles. Like, this is a different cat. Your job as a coach is to put him in the best position to show off those instincts.
Yes.
So don't have him in coverage, but have him wrecking the line of scrimmage.
That job hasn't changed. It was same thing was true with the other guy, but they did do that.
I think this guy's better than the other guy.
So three was a good number. I'll say
you're going to say
I'm going to say over.
No, it wasn't an over under. It was like what percentage do you think?
3? Oh, I'm going to go 80%.
Has more than 3.
Oh,
more than 3.
That cuts it in half. You're now 35, 40%.
Good number. I'm going to say 40%.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have some guys drafted.
What are the linemen, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm going to go 30%.
All right, I'm going to say 33. Let's revisit this.
Xavier Chaplin, he might get drafted. I don't know if
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, possibly.
All right. There we go. That was a fun question. We actually vetted that fully. Yeah, good job, boys. Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
2026 is the year you launch your business, the year you transform into an entrepreneur, a founder, your own boss. One powerful move puts your future firmly in your hands, starting a business with Shopify. Maybe you've got an idea you can't shake, a store you've already designed in your head. With Shopify, 2026 is when you finally make it happen. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs, including Seminole headlines, have already made this leap, from household names to first-time business owners just getting started. Shopify gives you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. Setup is fast with Shopify's built-in AI tools that write product descriptions and headlines. Marketing is built in too. Create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. As you grow, Shopify grows with you. Handle more orders, expand to new markets, and do it all from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/warchant. Go to shopify.com/warchant. That's shopify.com/warchant. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
All right, Marlon wants to know if Norvell found himself somehow in the same situation as Duke was last year, loses both non-conference P1 games, but finds his way to win the ACC because he splits with Miami and Louisville and Clemson by winning the conference, gets him to the playoff. Would FSU keep him even though we would have lost 5 games? I love the show even though we suck. All right, Marlon, that's you got it all in there.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
He's not saying we suck. He's saying the program.
Florida State sucks. Yeah.
Man, I don't. Well, that's such a crazy hypothetical.
That is a scenario. That is a scenario.
It is a scenario.
So you lose to Alabama and Florida. And you lose 3 other ACC games, but you do go 5-3 in the ACC and win
split in the win the tiebreaker and play for the conference title.
I think the realistic question is, would he still have a chance to coach in November to win some of those games if he loses? You know, that's all.
Fair.
But yeah, he would stay if he won the ACC championship.
Marlon wants to know every scenario where it's possible Mike Norvell survives.
Yeah,
that's basically what he's like. What scenario because this is clearly he does not want that to happen. But he's like,
so 7-5.
Are we safe if this happens?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to think. Like 12-0, got it. 11-1, got it. 10-2, yep. 9-3, almost certainly. 8-4, huh? 7-5, no. Well, what if they win the ACC?
Doesn't want his hopes to get too high.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Again, I still say that there's not a number that's 100% safe.
12,
less than 9.
Oh,
and it's just going to be basically what it looks like, to your point earlier, and then also what else could they do?
So I think I told you this, boys, but now it's happened twice. It's getting downright weird. I want to know from you guys, should I stop him the next time I see him? I've run into Manny Diaz twice.
What?
Here in Tallahassee. He's here all the time.
Oh, because his kids are here?
Yeah, he walked into Gordo's the first time and walked up to the bar. I was getting food to go, and I've been known to order beers before that happens. And so there he was, and we kind of gave each other a look. He was like, why do I know that a-hole? And I'm like, I know why he's here. At least I thought he was just stealing better players from Tallahassee from Mike Norvell at Tal.
Right.
But anyhow, then I saw him again the other day. And I started thinking, man, he's just on the regular. Would you be happy if they hired Manny Diaz?
I would not be happy.
The ACC champion.
I think you could argue that
he and Norvell have that in common.
I think you could argue it wouldn't be a downgrade. But I wouldn't be like, okay, this has solved all the problems.
You wouldn't feel like Eureka.
No,
they're back.
No, but I wouldn't be aghast either. If they hired Manny
you couldn't be aghast. He's done a good job since leaving Miami.
I like him fine, but it
day.
wouldn't be like, oh, okay, this is
he's not the be all.
It would actually be surprising that any school would get another guy from a Power 4 program. It doesn't happen much anymore. You kind of have to hire from lower levels.
Right.
So, you taught me into it.
Okay.
If we don't get the OC from Ohio State, then Manny Diaz.
Oh, you mean the one that's the head coach now at USF?
He means the rich guy.
I mean the rich guy.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you meant Heartline.
No, Heartline can go kick rocks.
No.
We want money.
Here in Tallahassee
we
is
want
what
money.
He's going to be doing. Nate says, I know he's listed as a GM, but what does John Garrett do that Norvell isn't doing?
Well, the hope is
he wrote a piece.
The hope is he evaluates a lot better and
the hope is that he's doing everything that Norvell does poorly.
Norvell told him everything he did every day for every hour, and Garrett just does the opposite.
But Ira, you wrote the story. I want to hear the answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the biggest thing is I think my impression on this, my take, is that Florida State's the coaching staff and the scouting department, they lost their way. In 2022 and 2023, they had the success with the portal. They started to believe that was going to be their ticket to success forever.
Yeah.
And that
in perpetuity, baby.
That's just keep riding with that. They didn't develop the young players because they were so focused on those portal guys. Then after 2023 happened, the snub happens. They tried to go hard in the portal again. The market had reset.
Now everybody's in the portal.
Everybody saw the success that Florida State and Ole Miss and some other schools had and said, you know what? All right, we're all in too. And we're going to spend unlimited money because we don't believe the NCAA is going to do anything about it.
Yeah, they were right.
And they were correct. Market got reset. Florida State wasn't ready. And now you've kind of been in this cycle the last 2 years. Now, Florida State, I think, has tried to adapt to that. But John Garrett's trying to kind of get them back in line in terms of doing a better job of evaluating players, not just getting seduced by talent, which was one of his quotes in the story, but then also rebuilding the roster underneath that too. Like trying to do both of those things. One is identify better portal guys. And I think Florida State, you objectively did a better job last year than the year before. 2024 was a complete disaster in terms of who they brought into the portal.
Unmitigated.
2025 was better. They just didn't have the results you wanted to have, but they did a better job with those guys. Deuce Robinson, a lot of those guys they brought in are better than.
Keep going.
No, they did. They brought
the
the
offensive
line last year.
Randy Pittman.
Randy Pittman.
I really wish they hadn't lost Pittman, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in good dudes who were productive football players. They just didn't have a good enough quarterback and to win. But anyway, this year they're trying to continue doing that while also backfilling the roster.
When you say backfilling, you're talking about high school
sophomores.
Kids.
It's actually even like in the portal getting
guys
multi-year
guys.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like the Nehemiah, defensive backs they brought in. A lot of those guys have for several years. Chris Jones has several years if he wants them. I mean, they did a lot of that.
Jeff writes, good afternoon, fellas. How many wins would you think were possible if Ashton Daniels earns honorable mention All-ACC?
Ooh.
Because I'm to say, for context, he's not a surprise pick, but he's also not that close to being on the third team. Thanks. Yeah, that's an interesting question. So if Ashton Daniels earns honorable mention All-ACC,
You won at least 7 games, maybe 8 or 9.
I would think, yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that's a 7 to 9 win season. You're not going to, if he's not first or second team, you haven't had a great season. But honorable mention means you're what, one of the 4 best in the conference?
Yeah, one of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks.
That's 8
in the
wins.
Yeah.
No, that's 8 wins.
Probably. Can year 2 of Tony White's system, this is from Burke, and Herb Hand having a fully healthy spring with the O-line translate into improved trench play this season on both sides of the ball?
Gotta hope.
That's
Gotta
the
hope,
hope,
Burke.
That's the hope.
Man, I need Tony to have a much better season. I like Tony White. There's some things I hated that happened last year under Tony White, some things on and off the field that I didn't like. I don't know that I can forgive what happened against Pitt. I'm still pissed off about what happened against Pitt.
It's going to take a while.
That was tough.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about it, getting me pissed off right now. But
because it also it
was absurd.
It led to the Stanford loss, in my opinion. I think if you right the ship, you lost Virginia and Miami. If you right the ship against Pitt and win a game that you have to win at home, then you're not going to lose to Stanford the next week.
Probably not.
And you probably don't lose to Florida.
Well, you and I disagree on that, but that doesn't matter. Yeah. But we'll never know. But the point is, damn it, man. Yeah. That can never happen. That was raging incompetence.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. They ran the same play over and over and over again. Sweet Jesus. That kid's still open.
Yeah. It's the last time he made a play the whole season.
Turns out Desmond Reed is faster than Elijah Herring.
You think?
Yeah.
I think they identified it before the game, Ira. Imagine the moment when FSU's coaches saw him warming up.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Like, he's just somebody else is wearing his uniform. Yeah,
he's just wanting us to think.
Yeah, look like he's 100%.
Yeah. Glenn says, hey, guys, what role financially does FSU's acquisition of Tallahassee Memorial Hospital play in terms of athletics, i.e. Norvell's buyout, the ACC exit fee? Thanks, Glenn from Middleburg, Florida, home of our very first 300-pound offensive lineman, Pat Tomberlin.
From the 87 team.
Tomberlin very well, buddy.
Yep. Preseason All-American, 1987.
Big old Pat Tomberlin.
Kind of had a mullet, too.
He was a huge bitch. Yeah. Well, especially back then.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It didn't make much sense to be that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair question. I think a lot of people are equating what Miami's medical school.
They just print money down in Miami.
The belief is that that's bankrolling a lot of their NIL. It may be. I don't know. I know that they have other millionaires that are giving money too. I think it's a good thing for Florida State, no question. I mean, I think it's going to be something that maybe solidifies it's going to be a good thing. How much it directly benefits Florida State athletics, I think it is to be seen. It can't hurt. I think it's a good thing. I don't know that I would say it's definitely a pipeline to solving all the NIL issues.
Is it official, by the way?
Yeah, they're taking it over.
It's taken it over, but it's started. I
think so, yeah. I mean, they're already when they approved their budgets for this coming year, part of it is they're spending in that field.
I would like them to.
Brady Clark was born at that hospital.
So
TMH?
Yeah,
one of ours was.
So was Bryce Cameron and Clark Cameron.
Yeah.
I really would like them to do like illegal money laundering operation, whatever you got to do through the hospital to make sure that we can afford to
buy
be
a bunch of
football.
car washes and mattress stores.
Just do what I mean. This ain't getting it done, guys.
Right.
What we're doing now. So if you got to do illegal things and funnel money through a hospital, then I say let's do that.
That would be cool if a bunch of Seminole mattress stores just popped up all over Florida.
Great,
because we all know they're just drug fronts.
And we would say as we drove past each one of them, they're finally committed.
There's more money.
They're finally committed, boys.
Money.
We're about to win again.
Yep.
Here we go. Do you think the administration views this season as a punt? That is from Valvoline McGillicuddy.
What a name.
A lot of people say that. I'm not a believer in that.
You don't like the descriptor, but did their actions equate to it?
Well, I think if you wouldn't spend even what they are spending on NIL if you were just punting it. Like if you thought and you were fine with this season being bad.
Yeah, Deuce. You wouldn't have. Why was Deuce here? Why did they bid on the Desires?
Why'd you bring in John Garrett?
Yeah,
why'd you bring in that staff?
But you wouldn't go and overpay for the Desires and Deuce if you're punting on the season.
Yeah, fight to keep Jabril Rawls. Fight to keep all these. So that to me doesn't make any sense. Now, are they all in to where they're saying we're going to overcome?
No, they
this
are
coaching?
not.
They are not. But I don't think it's fair to
Clearly
say
they
punting.
are not. And I understand why you would say it's not fair to call it punting, but I do think the actions make it feel like to fans
I understand why people
that
think
they
that.
have just totally decided well.
But they
You
did
could do
retain those players.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you
got to field a team.
well, you could
No,
do it a
those
lot
good
cheaper.
guys.
You could do it a lot cheaper.
You could have said Danzy's going to be our number one.
You
We don't want that money for Deuce. Or the Desires can go to Columbus.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like
I
they
think
did
there's
do
a
that for a
balancing
reason.
act there, though, also trying to save your job. There's a bunch of things there, but I get why you wouldn't call it a punt. I don't think they've done what they needed to do. Speaking of,
Maybe it's like it's 3rd and 17 and you run a draw, right? Or you
That's
run a
not
screen
punting.
pass. Yeah, you're not punting. You're not giving up on the drive, but you're probably not going to get the first down.
AJ wants to know what sounds worse. Now, I like this question because we play with words on the Jeff Cameron Show sometimes, and I say to, and I've done this with you, Ira, when you've come on the show before, when we're 53 days out from the start of college football, sometimes I'll say, does 53 seem, appreciably more than, say, they're playing college football next
2
month?
months.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
They're playing college football next month.
Right.
And or you say something like, oh, well, they're 7 weeks out or 8 weeks out. Which sounds – so AJ's playing the game. Which sounds worse? FSU is 7-17 the last 2 seasons. FSU went 2-10 in 2024. FSU is 3-13 in the ACC over the last 2 seasons.
What a joke.
That is something. Mike Norvell is 38-34 as a head coach at FSU. I think 2-10 still hits me.
I think 3-13 over 2 years.
That's fair.
13 is
That's
pretty bad.
bad.
That's ridiculous.
38-34 is terrible.
Who has a
But-
worse record in the league? Is Florida
Boston
State?
College. I think Boston College.
Boston
does.
College beat you.
Yeah.
That can't be right. Is
Well, look
anybody
it up.
But
lost?
then you beat them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
no,
play
they
them
didn't play them last year.
They would have beat them.
No, but
they
they
would
would
have crushed
they
Boston
would-
College. Boston College was
BC
lucky.
wants none of this.
No, yeah, they want to be.
Now, if that game were up at Chestnut Hill, I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
all- that's an L.
Yeah. Well, we find out this year, boys.
That's right. I think they've lost more games than anybody else in the conference the last 2 years.
No, either Cal or BC has, haven't they?
It's very possible.
I'll
Real-
look it up.
But Real
You
Sergeant
might.
Tom
Real
nails it. It all sounds bad.
Yeah, that's
I don't
correct.
know if there's a word.
38-34 doesn't do justice to the last 2 years.
Except when you
But
think
he had a 19-game winning streak, so
except when you think of the
take
get
that
choked
away.
up.
that a
thinking about
coach that a coach could be at Florida State for long enough to basically be 500 over 70 something games.
And especially since that 4 games above 500 are those gimme wins.
Oh man, you guys
Yeah,
are-
there
Yeah, that's
are
right.
those gimme wins.
Yeah. Go get some real wins, Mike.
What's your record against Power 5 teams?
What's your
Mike?
record against teams that I couldn't have beaten?
Yeah. That's a toughie. Whew. I don't like any of them, but I'm going to answer it as 3-13. You guys won me over.
Yeah, I think 3-13.
3-13 in the ACC is just unfathomably horrible.
Bobby Bowden's rolling over in his grave.
I mean, that is
Unbelievable.
like, come on, man. Do you think anybody ever draws attention to it? Like to Mike Norvell himself? Do you
The
think anybody ever
I
goes,
think he's
hey,
well
man,
aware.
do you know that you're 3-13 in the ACC over the last 2 years, Mike?
I will give him credit for realizing how bad of a job they've done. I think he gets it. I think he knows.
Oh, well, that's
he
good.
ain't giving back the money,
right.
but I don't think this is lost on him.
Well,
It's terrible.
that's reassuring. I
No,
guess.
I'm not saying it should
I know.
be.
I'm not saying you
just
are, but
saying I don't.
he
think,
doesn't
Do you
just.
think
He doesn't
has
need
moments-
anybody to remind
Do you
him.
think he has moments like we all have regrets?
Mhm.
All of us have regrets. We've said things we shouldn't have said, done things we shouldn't have done,
Hi-
didn't do things we should have done.
hired people we shouldn't have hired?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
There's a number of things, and sometimes you contemplate them late at night when you can't sleep. Long road trips,
Yeah.
kick it around in your mind. All these things. Do you think he ever has that moment at the red light where he's like, "We're 3-13 in the last 2 years in the ACC"? Do you think he does?
It
that?
has to be. That has to come up occasionally.
It
right?
should come up every 5 seconds.
It should, but it has to. You got to live life. You can't just
I
be.
don't know. I want you to obsess about it.
Yeah, it would
I
be
want
nice.
you to be brought to your knees by that pathetic fact that they're 3 and. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
All right. Who did you look it up?
I'm trying.
God
It's not
almighty.
working. I'll do it on
This
the.
crack
research
staff.
is just Jesus.
I'll do it on the. I'll do it
We
during
do
the
have
break.
working internet.
I'll
in
do
here.
it during
Can
the
we
break.
get
It's
it
not.
done?
It's
What's-
crazy how hard this has been. This is nuts.
Yeah.
The Da
Feel
Vinci
like-
Code over
I
here.
feel like you could pull up the standings from one year.
and then
pull
look
up the
at the
standings
next
of the other
year.
one.
You feel like that,
I
do
can't
you?
get ESPN to open, and that's
Why
the way
are
I
you
normally
going there,
do it,
man?
But because they're
Go to that great ACC website.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't wanna do that.
Seminole Headlines, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV continues in a moment.
All right, let me tell you about Thrive Market. Online grocery store, basically. You got to be a member, but it's $5 a month and it pays for itself. Here's the deal. Thrive Market restricts over 1,000 ingredients. No stressing over labels or Googling every additive. Every product they have, curated, organic, non-GMO brands vetted before they ever hit the site. The in-app barcode scanner finds a healthier swap for almost anything that's in your pantry right now. 90 plus dietary filters. You can figure it all out. It's easy. I did it. I pay $5 a month so I don't have to Google, is this ingredient okay for me? I scanned something from the pantry. It showed me a cleaner version of that same food. Member pricing is up to 30% off right now. Weekly sales, free gifts, price matching, free delivery on qualifying orders at $5 a month. Again, it pays for itself. Most members make it back in their first 2 orders. No per order delivery fees either, or service charges, none of that nonsense. One annual cost. It's great. Ready to do your own summer reset, if you will? Join Thrive Market with my link, thrivemarket.com/headlines for $20 off your first 3 orders. Plus you'll get a free $60 gift card.
By the way, I don't think I was fair to Valvoline McGillicuddy. He did go on to say, do you think the administration views this season as a punt, a referendum, or something different? Well, every season's a referendum.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a referendum. But yeah.
Dan says.
By the way, we looked it up.
Yeah, Florida State has the worst record in the ACC
the last 2 years. Nobody's
won fewer games.
Won fewer games than 3.
That's something.
Cool.
Dan says, speaking of soccer and flopping, what current college coach, any sport, would be the biggest flopper if they got kicked in the shins?
Oh.
Well, I missed the beginning of it. What, FSU player?
No. What current college coach, any sport, would be the biggest flopper if they were kicked in the shins?
Shire. I think John Shire. He would flop his butt off because
I think Kim Mulkey.
Yeah, she's a bad person.
She'd
I don't know
go
if she's
down.
a flopper.
Yeah, you're right.
I think she's just a bad person.
She probably wouldn't flop.
No, she'd fight you.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
She'd say something egregious. Yeah, but,
I think Kiffin would flop. I think he'd be a flopper.
And then start clapping.
Yeah. Feels like a
and then smile
Smiling
like after
clap.
he got the
by
flag.
the way, this would have been the easiest answer in the world for Ira if a certain coach hadn't retired from Virginia.
Yeah, Tony Bennett.
Yeah, you're thinking about him flopping now. Well dressed, well he flopped, no doubt. That's okay. W says, what % chance / odds do you give to a November-December announcement that reads Jimbo Fisher is the next head coach at FSU? Pretty much 0.
I would say above 0, but less
5%?
less than 20.
Serious percentage. Ira, give me a percentage.
Chance of it happening?
We're doing a show.
There's news. FSU got a pitcher commitment.
Oh,
from
did
Penn
they?
State? Yeah.
From who?
Penn
From where?
State.
So they got 2.
pitcher.
They get another guy?
Yeah, and I'm
Get the staff on
occupied
it,
right
Ira.
now.
Get
so
the
I'm
staff
trying
on
to
it.
text our staff
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
see
hey,
if
man,
somebody
we
can
got.
Hey, we're
it's
doing
fine.
a
It's
show.
fine. It's a
Everybody
Kid
knows.
State pitcher, Ira.
This is
big time
this
stuff.
headlines.
We're talking about Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah. Come
You
on,
heard of
buddy.
him?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Ira will say 50%.
No,
Chance?
no.
No. I maybe 10, 5 to 10.
I think
maybe.
5 to 10 is reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely
I
out of the
think-
realm.
I think what's attractive to people about Jimbo obviously is the last, there was a good run there, and you'd like to rekindle
an
that.
all-time great run.
The downside is he hasn't done much winning in 10 years.
The only
11,
thing that
10,
attracts
11
me
years.
about Jimbo at all, well, he's local, number one, so you don't have to pay
You
for
don't
new
have to pay
house.
for movers.
Yeah,
Mm.
but he does acquire great talent.
He did in
He
that
did.
world.
He didn't.
At
after a
Texas
while.
A&M, they had a loaded roster.
But they were spending before anybody
Sure,
else was spending.
but also I think Jimbo's the type of person that knows what it looks like at that level, the elite level and the elite spending level, and could maybe convince people to do it because they would believe that if you give me these guys, look what I do. I put guys.
No, you don't
in the league.
win at Texas A&M. Is what you don't
that's
do.
the issue. That's the downside. That's the
That is the
downside.
downside.
And his offense.
and his offense, and we don't know if he can have success in this world. I mean, this is
correct.
a different
Everything's
world.
changed.
I definitely trust that he
where
knows what it looks like.
Where the players, the grabbing a player by the face mask when he's making $1 million a year probably ain't flying the way it did in 2013.
No, and I think he can evaluate a high school player and know what he projects to.
Yes.
But again, there's so much more to it.
Yeah,
than
sure.
that. It doesn't
But
matter,
that piece is an important one.
Yeah.
And
But also everything has to be exactly the way he
well, I
wants.
get it. It's why
there's a lot
the
of
percentage
downsides.
is low, but that would be the appeal is he knows what he knows how to project NFL type talent and he can get them.
I got into this in the bonus hour, but I want the three of us to
real
do
quick though, Glenn. He mentioned Mick Cronin also, but the answer to the previous question, Danny Hurley. I mean, that's the answer.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would. Yeah, that's
Good
100%
call. Good
the
job.
answer.
Yeah, that's right.
Good work, Glenn.
I mean, he would do it, and then absolutely,
He's
he
the
would do it.
worst. Yeah, absolutely.
He would flop his flops. He would
Yeah.
flop and then flop again. He'd
Yeah, no,
flop.
it's unfortunate with
and
him.
then laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah.
And seem like a really cool, like a measured person when he's talking off the court.
No, really cool.
Really
ever
cool
gonna
is
be-
strong,
that's
but
a bit
measured
much. That's a
and-
bit
yeah.
much.
Normal-ish.
Ron says, when are we getting out of the conference?
Okay, is it all caps?
Ron is angry. He's
Yeah.
ready to roll. And Ron, I'm with you, man. I'd like to get out of the conference. I do need us to get our ducks in a row, as they say,
Don't go 3-13 in this
before
conference.
we get out of the conference, because you're going to be going, no matter if it's the Big Ten or the ACC, into a SEC, into a much better conference.
Right.
Yeah.
By definition, it's just much better conferences, either one. And you would get your head kicked in as currently comprised.
Yeah, no, I think that's why I don't think punting is accurate, because to me, punting implies you've like folded up shop for these 12 months. It's a pretty important 12 months. Like, you don't want to fall into oblivion. If you can get to decent at this time, it would help. It would
That's
help.
why, I mean, you can bust an 80-yard run on a 3rd and 17 draw. Dalvin had a huge run against Michigan on like a 3rd and 22 draw play.
He did.
Yeah, so things can happen. It's not a punt.
He just wants to know. And he also wants to know, he adds to that question, by the way, it seems the Warchant staff all favor the SEC from what he's listened to,
Yep.
especially the I refuse to fly Corey Clark.
Right.
But Big Ten money is real, and Florida Geographic is attractive and valuable. So he's just
Yep.
No, I don't think if you only have one choice, I mean, everybody would go to the Big Ten tomorrow. I think the hope is that from a lot of people, including myself, I think it would be better to be in the SEC in all sports. I mean, I just think it would be a better fit. But yeah, man, if you can get in the Big Ten, it's way better than doing this.
All right, so this is interesting. Trick Noel asked this question. Is it possible for you guys to ask Mike Norvell or Michael Alford at ACC Kickoff why the decisions to cancel the spring game and the booster tour have been made, and who were they made by?
Well, the spring game part, what to me was a complete failure on from a PR standpoint. I don't think there was any way they could have played the spring game because of the field situation.
They should have just said that, but they were embarrassed.
Well,
but
maybe
then they
whatever.
probably were embarrassed that their field looked like that.
Well, but their
of,
field is a problem anyhow.
Or not motocross,
Yeah.
it was PBR.
Bull rate riding or whatever. And, they had put in another field, and then it didn't really take.
Yeah.
And then they end up not being able to practice on it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
But they should have said from the beginning, look, we're doing all these things now in the offseason, so it's going to be hard for us to do a spring game.
Yeah, you had it out, is your point.
And they didn't use it.
Yeah, imagine that. They messed it
and
up.
I think that was a mistake. So we could ask, but I don't think anybody wants to take the blame or place the blame. I don't think Mike Norvell is going to say, well, it was the AD's fault.
Although he is frustrated, clearly.
But he is not going to say that.
No, he won't say it, but he did say, like, it'd be nice to practice on our field.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically
they didn't get the scrimmage.
pissed off.
They didn't get the scrimmage in Doak one time during the spring.
Oh, well.
So
send them some violence.
That's why they couldn't have played the spring game. The booster tour, I think that's just common sense. In fact, I asked when we first heard they weren't going to do the booster tour, I spoke to somebody at FSU, and their response was, how do you think that would go? And I was like, yeah, that's fair. That's
a good sign they recognize that the product on the field has been
such a disaster.
Such a disaster.
That you may don't go around the country asking for money.
Because sometimes I'm serious about this. Sometimes I feel like the fan base, because they don't echo the sentiments of the fans who are very vocal.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going to be, but meaning the administration. But because they don't, and in many cases lately, they've just kind of went and hid where nobody, you never see them. They're not out and about. There is no booster tour. There is no spring game. You don't hear Alfred making statements. There's nothing. So people are like, hey, man, do they realize what's happening here? We suck. Does everybody know we suck? And of course they know. And this is proof that they know.
He would just be apologizing for an hour. God, every tour stop, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please help me. I mean,
but I kind of feel like the tour stops are pretty much over. Like, even if they start winning a lot of games.
A lot of schools have stopped doing it a long time ago.
Yeah. If the defense overachieves this year, which player would you guess had the most impactful season? Rylan Kennedy, Chris Jones, or Ashland Barker?
Those are all good choices.
Those are great choices, and I know you could make a case for all three, actually.
I'll say Rylan Kennedy.
Me too, though. Yeah. That's where I'm going, because then you would actually have a pass rush. Right now, I'm a little worried about
the import of the position. Yeah, the import of the position.
Yeah, I like that question a lot, Jason. Good job. Who are the top 10 most important players on the roster? Top 10?
We didn't do a top 40. We can't. I don't have that off the top of my brain now. Ashton Daniels, Rylan Kennedy, Deuce Robinson. Those are Chris Jones. Those are my 4. Jabril Rawls 5. The Desirs are 6 and 7.
The left tackle.
Yeah. Left tackle.
Xavier Chaplin.
Well, they did it. The Cats are going all in. Ambassador to Florida. Gentlemen, what questions do you have for Charlotte that you wish you had asked last year? Do you have any that you wished you had asked last year?
No.
Feel like you covered the gamut?
I mean, it's just words. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's words. He's going to say words.
Yeah.
And
He'll answer your question,
but you can't excuse 2 and 10. There's no way to come off it. And what he said last July didn't prove to be prophetic.
No.
So
but a lot of the things that we talked about,
that doesn't mean I have questions this year. I'm just saying last year I don't feel like we missed.
Well, and I think a lot of the things we asked were important, and I think the answers were valid. Like, they did make the change to go from just potential to production. They did that last year, and you saw the results of that. It was a better football team. I would say it's a team that should have won 8 games. They didn't. So now the story is, okay, you're still doing that. You're trying to do that, but what are you going to do to prevent the slide? We didn't know that. I mean, 2 and 10 was a disaster, but we didn't know that, okay, at this first sign of adversity, things are going to go off the rails again.
Right.
Now that's happened. Now that's going to be
what
the
are
topic.
you going to do to prevent the kind of backslide that occurs every time this team faces adversity?
Because the 2 years previous, because you could even make an argument, and Mike Norvell's made this argument, that in 2023, they were down double digits in several games and fought back and won. So you can't say his teams have always quit, because they had opportunities to quit.
Yeah, just the last 2 years they've done a lot of,
So I just think that the questions change from year to year.
I also think I do think we're up against it here. I don't know what you ask a guy who's gone 3-13 the last 2 years in the ACC.
See how this is already making it's just part of the. It's ingrained in us now. 3-13, yeah.
But I don't know what other than, are you surprised you're still employed? What are you asking a guy who's 3-13 in the ACC? Honestly, you don't start a fight.
How do you live with yourself? How do you live with yourself?
Yeah. Do you cry yourself to sleep at night?
Do you wipe your eyes with your
money?
$50 bills.
No, I mean, like, what do you say? It's going to be interesting.
I'm going to ask him how much he works out. Legitimately.
That's
what
ridiculous.
do you think do you think he works out? He
Yes.
must.
Every morning. It's the
What
first
do
thing
you
he
think
does.
his workout routine is?
A lot of treadmill.
That's what I'm going to ask him.
And rap music or hard rock?
That's a great question too. Ira, now we're on to something. I don't care about his football team.
Old school, I would have said rap back in the day, but I think
I think he was. I
probably-
think he was into rap.
He was
I think
definitely
he was.
into rap,
He's
yeah.
probably
Yeah.
a Public Enemy guy. I bet.
which is great. But I mean, yeah, he's not sophisticated enough to be a De La guy or a tribe.
Oh, no,
guy.
he's not a
there's
poet.
No,
He's
no,
not a
no
poet.
chance there. No chance there. It's going to be more on the
Yeah,
nail.
so he probably does treadmill. You don't think he does weight? He probably does some weights.
He definitely does weights.
Oh,
Look
there's
at- he's
definitely
jacked.
Yeah, you
does
think he
weights.
works out with Storms?
I don't think
I think
anybody
he-
cares.
Home gym.
I think
I
they want to.
disagree.
I think they want to know if he's going to win some damn
Well,
games.
he
Corey.
can say whatever he's going to say. That's not truth.
What you can say is goodbye.
Peace.
There you go.
See you
Now
next
it's your
time.
turn to say goodbye.
Hey, congrats, Argentina.
I already turned you off.
We'll see you in Charlotte.
All right,
See you
now-
in Charlotte, Jason.
There you go. Now you're off, and now I'll say goodbye. Bonus hour with me and Tom coming up next. Stay with.